Hi everyone, welcome to this video on B2. It's a section in B2 called the heart. So I'll just be talking about the labels of the heart, the circulatory system, blood, and also blood vessels. So I've got a diagram here first to show you. So this diagram, if we focus on this side first, the heart has a double circulatory system. Now, the double circulatory system basically means blood passes through the heart twice on every full circuit. So I'll just write that definition for you. So double circulation means that blood travels through the heart twice on every full circuit. So if I show you the diagram again, I'll just point out what that means. So here's the heart, here's the body, here's the lungs. So let's start at the body. The body has used up the oxygen and the blood is now coming back as deoxygenated blood to the heart. So it passes through the heart and is pumped to the lungs. At the lungs, it's going to pick up oxygen. The blood's going to be reoxygenated, and then this reoxygenated blood travels to the heart to then be pumped to the rest of the body. And then the circuit goes round again from the body to the heart, to the lungs, back to the heart, and then round to the body. So that is your double circulation. So it goes body, heart, lungs, heart, body. So, and that is just continuous. So the two circuits then that make up this double circulatory system is the systemic circuit. Now the systemic circuit is the one between the heart and the body, and the pulmonary circuit is the one between the lungs and the heart. So in exams they will ask you, what's the definition of double circulation, and this definition that I've written here is all you would have to write down. But just be sure to memorise that the two circuits are called pulmonary circuit and systemic circuit. Okay, so here is the heart then, the diagram of the heart with the labels on. So I'll just go through it. The first thing you should always do when you get a diagram of the heart is label left and right. So all you need to know about this is, because the diagram is facing this way, facing upwards, the sides are actually switched. So that is the right hand side and this is the left hand side. And the reason for that is when if I was to pick up this diagram and put it next to my chest, it would be flipped round and the right side would actually be on my right hand side and the left side would actually be on my left hand side. But because it's facing down like this, the sides have to be written like that. Just something to bear in mind. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to write body here, just like that other diagram. I'm going to write lungs here. And I'm just going to talk through the steps then. So from the body, the blood, the deoxygenated blood, remember, passes through the vena cava. So that is the first step. This bit here is known as the vena cava, and the vena cava is a vein. I will go through the 3 blood vessels in a moment, so don't worry if you're not sure what a vein is. But the first bit is vena cava. You then have 4 chambers in the heart. You have 2 atriums, so this one here and this one here, and you have 2 ventricles, so this section here and this section here. So because this is the right hand side, this is known as the right atrium. So blood passes through the right atrium, through this valve, the tricuspid valve. Now a valve just prevents backflow. So the valve only allows blood to flow through in one direction, so this direction, and then as soon as the blood passes through, that valve will close, so then the blood can't go back in the wrong direction. So we're going through the tricuspid valve, into the right ventricle, so this area here, and then up, past another valve there, out the pulmonary artery. Remember, this circuit between the heart and the lungs was known as the pulmonary circuit. So that might help you to remember the name of this artery, the pulmonary artery, because it's between the heart and the lungs. So we pick up oxygen at the lungs, then, I'll do it in a different colour, and then this reoxygenated blood comes back to the heart, but it comes back through the pulmonary vein. Again, pulmonary vein because it's between the heart and the lungs. It goes through the left atrium, through the bicuspid valve, which prevents backflow, into the left ventricle, and then up out the aorta. And the aorta is an artery that pumps blood to the whole body. And then the body will use up that oxygen, and the cycle starts again. So you do need to know the order. So I would memorise this as a flow chart, you know, body, vena cava, right atrium, tricuspid valve, right ventricle, pulmonary artery, lungs, pulmonary vein, left atrium, bicuspid valve, left ventricle, aorta, back to the body. So it's just one of those things you'll have to memorise. So really, really important to know those and know the order. So the heart also has something called a pacemaker. So your heart rate is basically controlled by a group of cells in the right atrium. So right atrium is this one here. And they basically act as a pacemaker. They're the ones controlling the pace at which your heart is pumping. So what happens is these cells produce a small electrical impulse which spreads to the surrounding muscles. So I'm just going to put a P for pacemaker. P for pacemaker sends out an electrical impulse, and it causes the surrounding muscles to contract, and contract meaning like tighten, and that's how you get that beating of the heart. But some people might have an issue with their heart rate, they might have a condition, and therefore they need a artificial pacemaker put in. And this is basically a device that's implanted, you know, into the heart under the it's implanted under the skin, and has a wire going to the heart. So it's not put into the heart itself. It's a device that goes under your skin, and the wire goes to the heart, producing this electric current, and that's what keeps the heart beating. So it's the same concept in terms of causing the muscle cells to contract with an electrical impulse. You're just doing it with a little device, as opposed to your heart naturally doing it. So let's go on to these blood vessels then. So there's three main ones that you need to know, and they often ask you to compare them. So blood vessels are just what carries blood around. So blood vessels, arteries is one, veins is another, and then you've got capillaries. So let's start with arteries then. So your arteries carry blood away from the heart. I always remember it as A for artery, A, away from the heart. So it could be deoxygenated or it could be oxygenated blood, but it's just carrying it away from the heart. In terms of what it looks like, it's like a tube like that, and you've got a thick wall. So thick wall, and what that thick wall does is it because the blood is travelling under high pressure away from the heart, as in maybe like the aorta carrying the blood away from the heart to the rest of the body, it means that this artery can withstand high pressure, because the last thing you want is your artery to tear whilst it's carrying blood under high pressure. So this thick wall helps to withstand high pressure. This bit here in the middle is where the blood goes through, and you can see it's quite small. It's known as a lumen. So the artery has a small lumen and a thick wall. Carries blood under high pressure, and it carries blood away from the heart. The walls are also elasticated. So as well as being thick, they're elasticated. Again, having that bit of stretch just means that the walls won't tear under that high pressure. So veins carry blood to the heart. So in this case, it could be the vena cava, or it could be the pulmonary vein that carries blood to the heart. And it looks like this. So again, a tube. But this time you can see the wall is thin. In comparison to the artery, the wall is thin. And that's because blood is being carried under low pressure, because it's being carried, back to the heart, as opposed to being pumped to the rest of the body. So it's under lower pressure, and the lumen is larger. So larger lumen, thicker, thin wall. Sorry. Veins also contain valves. So valves prevent backflow, because if the blood is travelling under such low pressure, there is a worry that the blood could end up going in the wrong direction. So valves just prevent that. And remember, you've got your tricuspid valve and you've got your bicuspid valve. They do the same thing, they prevent backflow. Capillaries then, so capillaries are just where blood exchange or gas exchange happens. So gas exchange, I should say. Gas exchange occurs in and out of the blood. So let's say if that side's my blood, I could have oxygen diffusing in and carbon dioxide diffusing out. So this would be happening at the lungs. So this is the capillaries then. This band here is the wall, and the wall is 1 cell thick, basically meaning it's really thin. So 1 cell thick means it's got a short diffusion pathway. So those gases are going to diffuse rapidly because they haven't got far to go. It's only 1 cell thick. So short diffusion pathway. They have a lot of blood present. They have a good blood supply, and again that just helps with a diffusion being quicker, because this blood, as soon as the oxygen gets into this blood, it's then carried away, and then more deoxygenated blood comes along, and then more is travelled across. Remember, diffusion only happens across a concentration gradient, so having a difference in oxygenated blood and deoxygenated blood, and having lots of oxygen this side and not much that side, means that the particles will diffuse across. So blood carried away once oxygenated to, I'm going to try and squeeze it on, to maintain concentration gradient. So those are the three blood vessels that you need to know. You need to be able to describe them. If it helps you to draw them and label, then do that. But it's really, really important that you know these and you're able to compare them.